Hi there, it's Todd with Prairie Edge Service. Got a shear here that stylist dropped off, and we had Barry the Beveller go at this shear. So we're going to go through and walk through the steps that we needed to fix both the inside ride line and the outside bevel back to a full convex. So let's go through it. So here we can see where Barry the Beveller has beveled a really good edge on here. Probably with the twice sharp, you can see how coarse it is, and probably 120 grit, and it's really been ground down. And grinding on the outside has totally wiped through the inside ride line, so it means we're going to have to restore that ride line first. So we'll pull out the 300 grit diamond plate and we'll really work that down until the ride line gets rejoined all the way to the tip. You can see how coarse that 300 grit is. So we'll jump up to the 1000 grit plate, and now we're looking to refine that edge and line all the way to the tip. So now that that's done, we'll jump up to 2000 grit nanoa, and we're looking for refining. You can see even with the 2000 grit that a ride line still isn't that polished. So we'll jump up to the nanoa 5000 grit, kakiyaki in this case, and now we're getting into a mirror polish ride line, and that's what gives us the nice silent ride line. So now we've got the ride line done, we'll jump to the outside. We're going to go through and actually measure what that outside angle is, measure it to be truly 20 degrees. So now we'll pull out the 120 grit on a hard plate and set it to our final angle and start grinding it down. You can see that it starts at the top and it slowly works its way down. You can see that we've got a long way to go before that edge is reaching the apex. It's all done through progressive steps. You can see how coarse the 120 grit, and we want to use that hard plate to give us that bevel condition at the beginning. And even in this one, we've still got a little bit more work to do. Trying to get that apex all the way down. There's a little bit of a hole. Because of that hole, we're going to have to bring a whole lot more metal down. Got a solid burr forming out here, but we need to get all burr all along the entire way. So here we are. We've got a nice consistent edge now. It's and a full solid burr. So now we'll move to the next step. We'll raise the angle up to 10 degrees or so. Oh, we got one more here that's being the apex, but we're going to raise it up to 5 to 10 degrees. In this case, I use 10 degrees, and we want to knock the high side of it down. And what I'm looking for is grinding it down until I get about a 2/3 to 1/3 ratio. So 2/3 being the new 50 or 55 degree, and the bottom is the 45 degree edge. And that's what I'm looking for to get to that transition. And now I know that I can proceed to the next stage. And I'll pull out a 400 grit in a cushion plate and actually start convexing it. So I'm going to take those hard lines there, and the whole idea is this is still in its rough stage, so we want to start that convexing. So one of the things before that, at that 400 grit, I always take it off because it's a high probability of a false burr. Go and knock that burr off, and I come back, and now this is a 600 grit. So with the 600 grit, I'm looking, you can see how the burr is popping up there, and how much finer the grit is. And I'm truly working more and more of the convex shape, smoothing it out. I want to see a nice consistent line all the way from the apex edge all the way up to the top, and I want to get rid of as much of a harsh line as I can at the top area. So we're looking for a nice smooth convex edge all the way through the entire blade. And I should have a nice consistent burr popping up. If I didn't get a burr, that means I didn't properly apex, so it has to keep on working it. So now I'll jump up to the 1200 grit, and I'll increase my speed. So the whole idea is that this is a pre-polish stage. I want to get most of the nicks out, and once I've done that, I'll pull out my polishing pad. Here's with the polishing compound still on the blade, and then I turn around and remove that polishing compound. You can see how the finish is being fully restored throughout that whole area. Now we pull out the second blade and do exactly the same process. Second blade, now we've got it at a fully polished and restored almost like the factory condition. So we're just left to reassemble the shear, and we'll take a look at what it looks like after it's reassembled here. So here we have the shear fully assembled. We've got a beautiful factory-like finish. It's a full convex at 45 degrees. We have no harsh line at the top of it. It's nicely blended into the top surface. Our ride line is nice and polished. You can see the mirror image in there. And this shear is restored back to form, fit, and function. And it's now ready to return back to the client and restored back into a like new condition.